been saying it for weeks, and now we see a poll that bears it out. According to a new ABC News Ipsos survey, only 21% of Americans surveyed are following these impeachment hearings closely. Now, this has to rattle the Democrats, given how much time, how much effort, and the endless media hype that surrounded this Ukraine-Trump story.
This is a hard topic to get your head around. How do you deal with the fact that some people aren't even watching, and this is not the kind of thing that you can just figure out the first time you see it?
I know that sometimes it's not easy to follow all the names in this particular saga.
Not sure he even knows all the names in the saga, but this does explain, does it not, why the Democrats have been shifting impeachment goalposts, adding new allegations seemingly every day, and then launching trial balloons as they try to push this PR. And it's part of you can't call it anything but a desperate effort to try to excite an audience that you get the sense would rather watch Disney Plus than D-list witnesses in a bogus impeachment hearing. An allegation of a quid pro quo has now morphed into something much different. Listen closely and watch the metamorphosis.
You don't need an explicit quid pro quo to betray your country.
Bribery only requires that you're soliciting something of value. It doesn't have to be cash. It can be something of value. And clearly, this was something of great value to the president.
This is a part of a pattern to intimidate witnesses, and it's also part of a pattern to obstruct.
Oh, obstruct justice. He needs to do like story time for the kids because he's a good storyteller. Maybe Friday afternoon in an elementary school. And now, still not confident in their case, they're trying to resuscitate, you guessed it, the Mueller investigation.
Democrats may be looking to broaden potential articles of impeachment by investigating whether President Trump lied to the special counsel Robert Mueller.
President Trump may have lied to special counsel Robert Mueller.
He's under investigation, apparently, for not telling the truth under the Mueller investigation.
Okay, they are actually going back to Trump's written interrogatory answers in the Russia probe? This is just a complete and total sham, and most fair-minded Americans know it. That's why you're seeing most people not following this. Now, CNN sent a reporter, I love this today, to the battleground state of Wisconsin. Now, it's a state that, remember, Trump won narrowly. A lot of people were surprised by that back in 2016. And they wanted to go there to test the impeachment waters, see what the people thought. Well, the folks didn't seem to actually be gung-ho about much of anything in the Ukraine saga.
Veteran, business owner, and independent voter Greg Snell says he doesn't like Trump,
you have a good day.
But impeachment?
Well, I believe it's a pretty drastic step. Whether I like the man or not is immaterial. Impeachment it's pretty drastic.
Okay, that's on CNN. They couldn't get anyone on it striking up the ban for impeachment. If CNN can't find someone in Wisconsin, you know it's bad for the Democrats. Well, the Democrats did bank, though, of course, on career civil servants bringing the drama in these Hill hearings. We've got 4 more tomorrow. But last week, Kent and Taylor, they kind of came across as amiable but kind of professorial folks. And Yovanovitch was just irrelevant to the underlying conduct in question. None of it worked. But you don't have to take my word for it. The television ratings from last week's performances are in, and it's not pretty. While 13.8 million people across multiple broadcast and cable outlets watched the first day of the hearings, that's a 19% drop from the number who watched Jim Comey's testimony before the Senate Intel Committee back in June of 2017. And as Joe Concha notes in The Hill, it's also 1.5 million fewer than the number who tuned in to the first Democratic debates, which didn't have the benefit of being on most of the major broadcast networks and all of the cable news networks. On Friday, the number declined even further, with just 12.7 million people tuning in, a drop of more than 1 million viewers from Wednesday. So no matter how much the Democrats want you to believe otherwise, this is not the show that Pelosi and Schiff hope to produce. If this were on Broadway, it would have already seen its final curtain call. But rather than admit this entire charade was a mistake, should have opened off Broadway. Democrats keep doubling down. They're asking for more investors in the show. Now it's Trump must testify. If he doesn't, he's definitely guilty.
There's no way he can take the fifth. I mean, if he takes the fifth, according to Donald Trump, he's guilty. So that's going to just backfire on Donald Trump. Either way, Donald Trump is toast.
Who says fossils can't talk? Now, it's not a White House in crisis. You saw that banner up on all the cables over the weekend, CNN, MSNBC. It's not a White House in crisis. It's a Pelosi Schiff-led House of Representatives in crisis. It's a crisis of credibility for a party dragging the president and the nation through a needless, vindictive impeachment circus for one reason and one reason only. They do not trust the voters won't re-elect Trump in November. They don't trust you. And they darn well can't debate Trump on the merits of his economic policies, on his results on the economy, certainly not on China, or much of anything for that matter. For them, impeachment is just another campaign strategy, a total travesty. Now, if I were Trump, I wouldn't even talk about impeachment. I wouldn't tweet about it. I wouldn't dignify it. It's not an impeachment drama. It's a comedy of constitutional errors. You know what I'd say? I'd say see you in court or see you at the ballot box. Now, that's real drama, the type that could bring down the House. And that's the angle.